So something we've always prided ourselves on is our speed of service. And the first place we can demonstrate that for you is in our initial estimating appointment. The appointment takes about 45 minutes to an hour, and by the time we're done, you'll have a rough estimate on how much your project is going to cost. We'll spend time with you in your home, listen to everything you have to say, and hopefully answer all your questions, and then provide you with a rough line item estimate on site. Our calculations of your initial rough estimate is based off of virtually thousands of appointments over 3 decades. So we try to get a quick gauge of what the project's going to go for, what it is you're looking to do, and provide you with an estimate based on those numbers. Then we go into the process of refining each one of those steps and coming up with a fixed price proposal. After the initial free estimate, the next step is a conceptual design service. The point of this service is to put in 3 dimensions your ideas and your thoughts about what your kitchen could look like. So this kitchen is a perfect example of why you need a conceptual design service. We basically took out a massive row of cabinets that was right in this spot and removed the tiny little island they had, and then replaced it with this. When you'll see the pictures on the video for before and after, this was a very closed off, tight space. It didn't feel open to the rest of this house, which has beautiful high ceilings. So what we wanted to do was open up this space, make it feel more usable, more friendly, and have kind of a clean transition into the rest of the house. That would not have been possible without the conceptual design. A big part of that was the installation of this beam here. Before, we had a column that came down here, and a second column somewhere around here. We also had countertop running along here at a bar height. Everything was very closed off, whereas now it's very open. We were able to discuss those kind of initial ideas, and then through the conceptual design service, put it into 3 dimensions, and now it's here before us. The first rendering sometimes is spot on, but sometimes it allows you to answer a question or to ask a question that you didn't think you had. So in designing this kitchen, something that was very important was the distance between this and this space. You want to have it large enough that 2 people can comfortably walk through, but not too large that this island gets limited in how much space we have here. Now, this island is interesting because on the back end of the island, we actually have 12.5-inch cabinets, and on the front end, we have 24-inch cabinets. This allows us to get a lot of length to the island without it becoming too large, and kind of gives a more open and free space to the rest of the kitchen. There are some circumstances where you wouldn't need a conceptual design service. Those may include, you've already done a lot of homework, you know exactly what you want it to look like, you've got your cabinets chosen, your countertops chosen, now you just need a cabinet plan, and you're ready to start the ball rolling. You can think of the conceptual plan as a rough draft of your kitchen. You may not have all the shading done, you may not have all the kinks worked out, but we're going to have a pretty good idea of what you're going for, and that allows us to build upon that as a foundation for really creating your new kitchen. We find that jobs go well if they are adequately planned. The first step of that plan is your conceptual design service. So after the conceptual design, next we have a cabinet plan. This is where we get into the finer strokes of creating this kitchen. We're going to ask you things like, where do you keep your pots and pans? Where do you keep your silverware? How do you want things to function in your kitchen? Another feature that was discussed during the cabinet plan in this kitchen is having drawers within drawers. So here you can see we have 3 drawers on this particular cabinet, but in the top drawer we have a second drawer on the interior. This allows us to give you more space for storage without having to stack drawers on top of drawers on the outside of the cabinet. Because we have these 3 drawers on both ends here, and then on both ends here as well, you get this clean line that follows through the kitchen that really just brings a crisp detail to it. There's a few details in this kitchen that I'd like to talk about to illustrate how important it is to have both a conceptual plan and a cabinet plan. The first of those is the 2-tone colors. Here we have gray cabinets on the island with white cabinets in the rest of the kitchen. That is something that we have to decide before we start installing cabinets. We want to know what color it's going to be, how is that going to look, what kind of flooring is going to go with it, and then how is the countertop going to affect that. By having these 2 different tones, we really create a nice aesthetic, and we single out this island, which is really the centerpiece of the kitchen. Another thing that's very important is the height of these cabinets. Now I'll go over here and stand next to them so that you can get an idea. I'm a pretty tall guy at 6'4", and I can just reach the handle on these upper cabinets. Now, you may think, why is it important to have cabinets up there if even I can't reach them? But when you stand back and look at this kitchen as a whole, it just wouldn't be the same without them. These are stunningly beautiful cabinets, and because of the height of this ceiling, it just makes sense to have them go nearly to the top. Functionally, you can store things that you're not necessarily going to use on a daily basis up there, and then with the glass fronts on the lower cabinets, you have enough space to showcase your cups and glasses or mugs or whatever it may be. The cabinet plan helps provide a shopping list for everything that you need to make your new kitchen a reality. The cabinet plan also acts as a detailed map or roadmap for the installer who's going to actually be putting your cabinets in. We want to know what needs to be on that list and ensure that it gets there on time so that things go smoothly. That's where the cabinet plan comes in. It is an absolutely crucial part of your kitchen remodeling project. I want to talk about this corner of the kitchen a little bit and how it was very important in the planning phase. What we had here before was an old walk-in style pantry. This was very popular when this house was built. Nowadays, not so much. The refrigerator was kind of shoved up against this wall, and when you had this door open, you're kind of intruding into the walking space here. By moving everything into this space and putting these tall pantries, we provide more than enough storage room to store everything you could possibly want to put in your pantry, and actually having a way to organize it with drawers. And then we open up several square feet of walking room to make this kitchen feel even bigger than it already is. The cabinet planning service is where your project really starts to become a reality. You're going to get really excited about things at this point because now you have a very concise plan of action. If you like what you've seen so far and you're happy with your conceptual design, the next logical step is the cabinet plan. If we're going to be removing walls in your home, it's important to us and to you, I'm sure, that we do that right. The way we accomplish this is by getting an engineer in to inspect the project and provide a letter explaining exactly what and how it needs to be done. We've been working with the same engineer in Austin for decades. We trust him and he trusts us. Because of our arrangement with him and the long-time relationship, we're able to provide you with a fixed price service. I can assure you that once this service has been complete, you will be very confident in how we're going to go about it. The biggest fear for you as a customer is likely big change orders. The way you can avoid that is by signing up for our fixed price proposal service. By providing you with a fixed price proposal, we both have an agreement we can stand behind. You've done the research, we've done the research. We have a conceptual plan, a cabinet plan, and an engineering letter if necessary. We know what it's going to take, and when we give you a price and you sign the agreement, that's what we stand behind. We've always prided ourselves on our speed of service and our excellence of service. The way we accomplish that is through our fixed price proposals.